Konko Talk. Aloha everyone. Thank you very much for listening to this program. Konko Talk is a program where people in the Konko faith talk about various topics. The thought and opinion we share on this program may differ from yours, but we hope that you will enjoy and learn something new. Perhaps we will learn something new that may affect our thought, behaviors, and action for the better. Our different backgrounds, religions, thought, and culture provide the diversity that strengthens our community. Just like a biodiversity is essential for a healthy planet Earth. I'm Koichi Konko from the Konko Mission of Honolulu. Joining me are Aimee and Edna. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Been a while.
I'm sorry for listeners that it takes long time to have a Konko Talk, almost like half year. So it's kind of busy for us. And also thank you very much for comments for our program. That's you. Only one we got, so that's you. Thank you very much. So today's topic is health. That's very important for us. There's a teaching Konko Daijin founder said, pray for your good health, strengthening your body. Good health is the basis of everything. Good health is the basis of everything. When I was young, I was healthy. That's so I think it was take for granted that I was healthy. But now getting old is so much different from when I was teenager or 20s. And now I'm 40s, almost 50. So I experience so many difference like illness, when I get tired, easily tired, and sometimes hard to recover. My eye farsighted, my back is always wet. I mean, sweat.
Oh.
That's common, you know. I watched the comedy in Japan, and there's a comedian that they talk about my age. They complain about joint pain, eye kind of hard to see. Also, they say their back is wet all the time because sweat.
Interesting.
I think a man somehow it used to be with sweat from a face, the mouth, but face. But now actually from the back.
Oh.
I have to change t-shirts a lot. But anyway, so today topic health. Do you have something to share? Want to share something?
Sure, I can go. I'm Edna. Well, recently I caught COVID.
Oh.
And I think that was I caught it back in 2019 before it even was declared that it came to, but it was in the beginning of December. So, now that you hear it, they said COVID had been in America since like November, in Hawaii too. So I am like 100% sure that was COVID that I caught in 2019. And that was the worst like cold or whatever you call that illness I ever had experienced till this age. And thankfully I recovered from that. My mom had it more worse. Well, this past November, Thanksgiving, when I caught COVID for a second time, and it wasn't too bad, but yet I still had all the symptoms, the high fever, the headache, and it wasn't like pounding headache. It was like a vise, like squishing my head from both sides, and it was excruciating. That pain was really bad. I lost my sense of smell. So my smell right now is about 50%, and it's been about a month. It's slowly coming back. I feel like the neurons are slowly reconnecting back to my nose. And I had extreme fatigue. I called out sick from work for two work days. So like the whole week I was off, and I was in bed for a good 3 days, pretty much kind of incapacitated. But when I can feel myself getting gradually better, I can feel so much thankful for that. And, today I could wash the dishes. Like, before when I was like in bed, like standing up was the most I could, and even a little bit of walking just to the bathroom, it was so fatiguing. But then on that third or fourth day, I could actually stand up, walk around the house, do some mild cleaning, and even washing the dishes. And I was like, today I could wash the dishes. Thank you. So I felt like these gradual recovery process, I can really sense it, and I was extremely grateful for it, for the little things I could now do again. But before that, I was like, hey, washing the dishes was like regular, right? Being sick isn't fun, but the recovery process, I'm really thankful for my immune system and for Kami-sama, the nature, the nature of the healing process. I was extremely grateful for that. And I used to always get sick at least once a year, but I don't know, maybe because I'm in my 40s now, the level of gratitude, more thankful that I'm getting better, more thankful when I get better. And these little steps of recovery, I'm more grateful for them versus if I was in my 30s catching the same thing. I was like, oh man, I'm still sick. I still have a fever. Why? When is it going to go away? When am I going to get better? And I was like, but now it's like, oh, thank you. Thank you for the little thing you can do, recovery state. If we don't have our health, we cannot do anything. Cannot go to work, no matter how prestigious your job may be, no matter how much money you were making with your occupation. If you don't have your health, it's going to be gone. Money is going to be gone. You're not going to be able to work, have that income anymore. Disability status only lasts for a certain amount of time. Yeah, so good health really is the basis of all things. People go after money, and money is important too. Without money, you can't buy a lot of things. You can't live comfortably. You can't have your basic needs met. But money is not everything. Before that comes your health. Be thankful for every day that we're given this promise from Kami-sama of that good health. We often
good health. Having good health, it's so easy to take for granted that we're in good health, and it's only when we're sick, like with so many other things, like we tend to take for granted. It's so easy to. I take a lot of things for granted, especially my health. And it's only when I am sick that I realize that I should be more grateful for my health. Yeah, I mean, when I was listening to Koichi talk earlier about when he was younger, I am at the age where I'm realizing that everything is like everything is like leveling down. I cannot see as well. I used to have 20 vision, but I still have pretty good vision. My friend reminds me of that very often, that the moment I start complaining about not being able to see as well as I used to, I have all kinds of health problems now that I didn't have in my youth. But that was probably because I took for granted what I did have. Took for granted that I could eat anything I wanted and I was okay. And I probably overindulged, and now I have diabetes to thank. But my friend also very often reminds me that I have to still be grateful for what I do have now. Yes, my vision is a little less than it was in my youth, but I still can get away with not wearing glasses all the time. I might have to put on the occasional reading glasses, and things look a little blurrier now, but I can still see pretty clearly. I, with the help of medication, can still enjoy foods that I like. I just cannot overindulge in it. That's a good things like that. I'm older than Edna, but I still have much more to learn in having the gratitude all the time about what I do have now. And health is one of those big things that I take for granted.
And when we are young, that's kind of default for us. So used to. But your story remind me that the teaching, being here is not the only thing to be grateful for. Always being in good health is. It's easy to forget, or sometimes we need to experience to be sick or lose some kind of ability or health. My eye always far-sighted, or what's called old eye. I never imagined that. So hard to read when wearing the glasses. I can see far, but I have a hard time very close. There's the explanation in the boxes, the candy boxes, or anytime so small, right? And hard to read. I never had that, but now a couple of years ago I realized it's kind of hard to. Oh, this is the one people talk about. I kind of interesting to observe myself that I was able to experience this kind of farsighted. So I'm glad that, because my auntie long time ago told, she said I'm looking for to be old. I think she was like 40 years old at the time, and I was shocked, like, why you want to stay young, right? But she said I was looking for to become old. Now I realize because you can see more blessings, you can experience that you are old, so that means you have been receiving so much blessing, so that you can say thank you to Kami-sama. That's why I'm guessing. That's why she said you're looking forward to become old. Looking forward to becoming old.
Are you looking forward to becoming old?
When we talk about, my grandfather passed away when he was 64. My father passed away when he was 66, and the next person could be 68, something like that. joke around. It's not like good joke, but I'm glad if you pass grandfather and father's age. I'm pretty sure I passed my grandmother. She was 46 or something.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Pretty young. So my other grandfather, 71. My grandmother is 99, very healthy. And her mother passed away, and she was 103. She was very healthy until shock. I think I have a pretty good gene. So hopefully I can live longer than this.
Are you looking forward to getting old, Edna?
I am. However old Kami-sama allows me to be. Yeah, when I look at elderly people who are walking with their canes and stuff, I think, wow, that's so amazing how their hearts have been beating since they were born all the way up to this age, like even past their 100. Because our heart beats at least 100,000 times a day. And if you multiply that with every year, with every 10 years, 100 years, oh my goodness, the amount of heartbeats that our heart has done for us, it's going to be a lot. I didn't do the calculation, but it's a lot. So when I look at those people, I think that, man, these people are amazing to have lived this long.
It's funny, when I think about age, growing old, I don't think any part of it is fun. I guess that's how narrow-minded I can be about that. But when you think about it, the fact that you are alive, the longer you are alive, the more blessings you've received, and that's why you're alive for that long.
Mm-hmm.
Like my father passed away at 50, and when I think about 50, I used to think that was old. When I was a child, that was. But then I'm fastly approaching 50, and yeah, when you think about it, that's not very long to live. I have to keep going. I cannot stop at 50.
Today, when I came home, from my house to Wahiawa, I guess I still have a teeny bit of that COVID fatigue, brain fog. So I was like, I did that when I came home to Wahiawa, and my mom was in the dining room, and then she said, "Kazuko, don't say that. Don't say like or like it's tsukareta, I'm tired, or like because I guess she saw a YouTube. She likes watching YouTube, and she said the secret to staying young is to never say those words like it's tsukareta, or like yoisho, or I'm tired, or I'm getting old. All those negative words or sounds associated with age. My mom says, don't say that. If you don't say that, then you will stay mentally young. And I was like, yosh, I'm going to make it my New Year's resolution to not say those words like yoisho or like because I catch myself saying yoisho all the time, especially when like kneeling down. Kneeling down is getting kind of hard nowadays. My knees, they pop all the time, and there are some patients and even some regular people who say, there is nothing good about getting old, and they point their finger at me and says, don't get old. I'm like, okay.
It's possible.
I know. But then when they say that, I ask them, well, would it be better to die young? And they're like, no, dying young is bad. So I was like, okay, so you complain when people die young, yet you complain when you get old. So it's like your whole life is complain. Rather, we can give thanks for today, now that we're being given life and blessings. So we have to receive blessings every second of our life. Not every day, every second. This moment by moment by moment is what's going to add up like our past. This moment, if we can never be grateful, complain all the way through for 10 years, 20 years, it's really going to show on our faces. I can see that in the patients, the complainers versus the people that are so happy and always grateful. The furrow lines on their faces is different. They have the crow's feet. The happy people have the crow's feet, and like the people who are always complaining throughout life, you can see it's like really deep furrow lines in their foreheads. Like they continue to complain or they continue to be grateful. Really interesting.
I got deep bleeding. I was shocked to see blood, but also I have a lot of pain. I suffer all night I went to ER. My wife took me to the ER, and I was curious how they treat me, even in pain. I tried to observe the people working for me, doctors, nurses. I'm glad that they're so professional, they're positive, and even someone joking around, so that helped me actually. Before, I thought it's not appropriate that people joking around in the ER, but that make me more happy or relaxed. I'm glad that I read everything the medical technology helped me. Recently, I read the Japanese comic called JIN. It's also a drama based on that comic. What's the drama? It's about 10 years ago. The comic started 2000 and 2010. And drama was aired 2009 and 2011. And that's basically the surgeon. In 2000, the medical surgeon time travel to Edo era, and he was a surgeon to help that knowledge and the experience and some skill helping the sick people get injured, and they eventually went back to the 2000. But interesting enough, because that's Edo era, 2018. So our founder was thinking like how they live and what if they have a knowledge, because there's so many illness, beriberi or the measles, what else, cholera. There are many illnesses, syphilis. So many people suffering from that, and he was able to help them. Not everybody, but try to help. He was actually concerned what if he changed history, but he hesitated to use his knowledge and strength. But eventually, the people in front of him suffering, so eventually he helped use his knowledge and try to make the tools, medical tools, everything using the material existed that year, 1862. And there's so many famous people up here, and we're always thinking, oh, Panda is there. So interesting to me. So I'm glad that so many people are saved. And actually now 2022, more, it was 20 years ago, but now more advanced. Yeah, I'm glad that I was experienced those medical treatment.
Yeah, it's true, because thankfully medical technology makes certain surgeries more simpler. Like before, they used to cut open your stomach and you had a big scar left over. But now you have like little pukas, like 4 or 5 pukas. And then they just put like super glue on there called Dermabond. And then they'll just heal up really nicely. They don't even have to put staples anymore, no stitches. It's like glue. It's amazing. Yeah. When my dad had a gallstone many years ago, a few years ago, that was really scary because it wasn't typical of what gallstone symptoms they cause. He would just throw up once a week, and he developed this really high fever. He didn't have any like abdominal pain or anything. So if he had the abdominal pain, I'll immediately think, oh, that's gallbladder, gallstone, you know. But he didn't have the classic symptoms, so I was really worried. I was very worried about my dad, and he was gradually losing weight. And I was like, wow, Oto-san, you lost a lot of weight. And I was like, you have to go to the doctor. And he was like, no, you can't. I think, no, you gotta. I am gonna take you. So on Veterans Day a few years ago, several years ago, that's when he had like a really high fever. And I said, Oto-san, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna take you ER right now. So I took him to Caminos. They did a CT scan and they found it. And the doctor told me, wow, that was really good. You took him to the hospital. People die of these things because he didn't only have a gallstone, he had sepsis. Sepsis is like your blood gets infected because of the initial infection of gallbladder. But hontoni, he could have died, my dad. But thankfully I caught it in a nick of time. Forced him to go to the ER. So I appreciate the hospital, the staff, the doctors, everybody. They helped him out. They saved his life. He wouldn't be here today. When we trust our loved ones in the care of the healthcare, I pray, please, I pray that these doctors and nurses guided by your powers. Anyway, when he had that gallstone taken and his gallbladder, they only poked a few pukas, his belly button and in a couple other places. And it healed really nicely. They put that, super glue thingy on. Really, technology is amazing. People would have died back in the days of the founders days that happened.
I understand your father didn't want to go ER. I have I have a pain that they're bleeding. I have a pain. I want to go to ER, but same time I don't want to go. I have a chance to go to ER. I can go and suffer longer. But so interesting. I'm thinking I want to go. Same time, go. Hopefully my pain go away, but never go away. Decide to go, but it's the time to decide to go. And even though I decided I'm gonna go right now, it's so dark. So I will go after maybe 8 in the morning. 8 in the morning, that my mind can go. Then again, I have to go. So interesting self, because myself, so the paramedic told me that so many men didn't want to go to ER, even that somehow I experienced that. Oh yeah, I have a same feeling to avoiding condition. Still, I don't want to go. But also, there's a hospital doctors. So I feel like at least I can go to the doctor. I can go to the hospital. I can go to the ER. That kind of feeling make me easy, the depressed. That kind of hope over there. If you go to doctor's office, you go to ER, they can do something that will be safe. That kind of unseen, so strong. So make me, I think, feel better.
Thank you for sharing, Koichi Sensei.
So Koichi Sensei, when you said you were going back and forth on whether or not to go to the ER or not, why was that? Was that because you were afraid, do you think?
Probably afraid or shame or hope that this pain go away soon.
By itself, without any intervention.
And also, paramedic told me that maybe fear. What if doctor finds something really bad? You don't want to face that. Maybe I had that too.
Yeah, I can understand that. That's I think I have that kind of unfounded fear a lot too, and it usually takes someone else to push me to go and get help. Mostly my friend Susan. But yeah, I think a lot of people end up with they're afraid to get help, or afraid to find out that something else is wrong. The doctor will find out something. But when you really think about it, why delay that? Why? There's always a better chance for them to, if they were to find something wrong, there's always a better chance for them to help you if you go earlier. So there's no sense in waiting. But at the same time, I do understand that fear of not wanting to find out. But how do you deal with that? Like Edna, how do you deal with that? And in your dad's case, that might have been easier because it was your dad, it wasn't yourself.
Yeah. Well, I had to go to the ER a couple times. And
so you have to go?
I had to go, yeah. I don't think I told anybody about it. I didn't even say it in my sermon. So you guys listening are very lucky to hear this.
Yeah.
I went to the ER once when so my eyes were doing something weird. It's like, how everything is supposed to be clear, but suddenly it started to get pixelated. Like the old Nintendo. It's like pixelated flashing lights in front of my eyes like this. They were just sparkling, and I was like, oh crap, what's happening to me? Am I gonna have a seizure next? And I was freaking out. And because I was freaking out, it's like the whole stress response was going, and I was panicking. Heart rate went up too, and I was like, oh no, am I gonna stroke out or something? I was thinking the worst. No, this has never happened. And it's like pixelating and flashing lights. So I went to the ER, and they really didn't do anything, look at my eyes. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna just refer you to an ophthalmologist. So I went to the ophthalmologist in the Honolulu clinic, and then they said, oh, it's probably a ophthalmic migraine. I never heard of that before. Ophthalmic migraine. So that was probably what caused it. They did a whole eye exam, put the eye drops in and dilated my pupils and everything. They said, oh, we didn't find anything. So, yukata, I feel better. And it was also good because, I've never had my eyes checked out like that before. No problem with your eyes. And now I can see very well. I can even see the microprint on, like the $50 bills, like the tiny little, Department of United States Treasury. I could see that. I can see that microprint. Yeah.
Wow. So
I thank my eyes. I got one thing. Well, that was ER trip number 1. And ER trip number 2, this happened several years ago, where I had extreme stomach pain. It's like I couldn't keep anything down. My pain, it felt like it's like acid just burning through my stomach. I thought it was like an ulcer already, or more than a week it lasted, and I was losing a lot of weight. And I had a really high fever too. So I don't know what was going on. And Clayton was getting very concerned, my husband. So he said, Edna, you should go to the ER. And I said, yeah, I don't want to. But I was like, no, you should go to the ER. I'll take you. So I was like, I don't want to go to the ER. Because, I didn't want to find out if it's a bad thing, because I always think the worst. I want to go, but this pain is not resolving, so I must. And I went, and thankfully it wasn't that serious. It was only a gastritis, so like inflammation of the stomach lining. And I think what caused it was I think I took a leave on an empty stomach, and that really did a number on my. So always remember to take food or lots of water when taking NSAIDs I stopped taking, but anyway, that's what caused it. He said, oh yeah, just go to Longs and just buy Pepcid or Tom. And I did that, and the pain went away. And then I tried to hide my face. I was like, I can't let any of my coworkers see me here.
Oh, really?
I feel so embarrassed. I was like, I don't want to be here. I hope I don't see anybody that I know.
So it adds a whole nother level of concern for you.
Right. I was like, I hope no one looks at my chart, I was getting paranoid. I was like, oh man, because when they wheeled me to the ultrasound to see what was up with my, I put my blanket up so I covered my face so I don't see anybody. I didn't want to see anybody in the hallway, so. Yeah, that's because I went to the ER the hospital that I work, so thankfully it wasn't.
Oh. I'm thinking myself too that what if this happened 100 years ago or 200 years ago? How I am pretty healthy now, but I have a couple illness, there is an injury, and I was able to survive this age. And now I'm so glad that now I was able to receive so much medical advanced treatment, and I think I was treat my health lightly. I think I should. Because someone told me that I think health, you have to earn good health. It's the correct wording. You have to put your effort to be healthy. If you're young time, maybe not too bad, but if you age, a doctor told me that you are not that young anymore. Okay, yeah. Thank you for reminding me. But I think we should be positive at the same time. We have to know that we are not young enough. I mean, not young enough, but not 20 years anymore. 20 years old anymore. But it's a good thing that we have been so much receive blessings. So we should think about our body, take care of our body, mind, spirit.
Yeah, because a lot of people they push themselves, to the point of exhaustion. Some people they have to work 3-4 jobs. It's tight-head. It's very hard. Their body, spiritual. We really gotta take that time every day. I think it's good to reflect on our body and say arigatou gozaimasu from my head to my toes. Arigatou. Every organ in my body. And sometimes when I can't go to, people count sheep, but I don't count sheep. I do a thank you prayer. So from the top of my head, I think of all the body parts and organs I can think of, and I say thank you. Even my hair, I think arigatou on my hair, my eyebrows, my eyelashes, my eyes, my eyelids, ear, my tongue, sweat, even my sweat glands, esophagus, stomach, pipe, my lungs, my heart, everything I can think of. Even my toenails, nails, fingers, the little hairs on my arms, I thank them because they'll let me know when a mosquito's on. And before I know it, I am sleeping. So every time I do that thank you prayer, I am sleeping. So
that's a good one. Yeah.
You can try that. If you can't go to sleep, do the thank you from your head to your toe. And if you still can't sleep, then think of all the people in your lives that help you out, and even things that help you out, things that support you, your house, your car, your clothes, your blanket, your pillows, the shower, your clean bathroom, everything really supports it. Even a bath towel. If you don't have a bath towel, you can't wipe yourself after you take a bath. So even arigato after you use it, oh, thank you, is good practice, always having that appreciative heart.
That's a good one. I heard the Japanese, when they go to bed, they reflect the day. And usually, I should do this. I shouldn't do this. I made a mistake. I should take this way better. They very negative. They 反省しちゃう.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's why not good. But Western culture, many people remember the good thing. So sleep positively. But Japanese sleep negatively.
I cannot go to sleep if I think about the negative things that happen that day.
Yeah,
I'll
so
be thinking about it the whole night, and I'll be like, oh.
yeah, so that method, Edna's method is so good, it's so positive. Thank you very much to your body, everything, everybody. So it's positive energy, so you can sleep well. Sleeping is very important. I think that's a very good way to go to sleep.
The fourth Konko-sama, Reverend Kagamitaro Konko, used to always say, すべてに、世話になるすべてに礼を言う心, meaning giving thanks to everything that supports you, everything and everybody, and make it your practice. So he says he wears these glasses, and even when he puts on the glasses, he says, ありがとうございます. And at the end of the day, when he doesn't need anymore, he takes it off and says, ありがとうございます. The Reverend Kawahatsu Masato Sensei of the South San Francisco Propagation Hall, he says, wow, I used to lose a lot of things, but when I say thank you to it, and I place it somewhere, like for example, his cell phone, ありがとうございます, and then he puts it down, then he doesn't forget, he says. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. I should try that. ありがとう, you can never go wrong with ありがとう, that word, ありがとう or thank you. Especially that word, ありがとう. ありがとう means to have is difficult. あるのが難しい, and that's how you write it in kanji characters. To have is difficult. Yet, in our really affluent society right now, we have everything. Like people don't know the meaning of suffering. We're so blessed in so many ways, right? So to have is like atarimae, like, oh, of course I have a phone, of course I have a car, of course I have clothes to wear, and everything is like we take it for granted. Yet we don't realize we're a very small percentage of the planet that is blessed in this much, you know, because many parts of the world, they don't have the luxury of having nice clothes to wear, or even running water, clean toilet, or even a toilet in their own house. They don't have that kind of, just for so many things. If we have the time to complain, then try to switch that mentality, even try to force yourself to switch that mentality. Thankfully, I mean, it's okay to complain, but if you complain all the time, then it leaves you no room for blessings.
True. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you for that, Edna. That's no, recently I've had to have reminders. I feel like I have to be reminded even more often. I've always been very forgetful, but I take things for granted so easily, and I forget to have that thankful heart. Show gratitude where I need to, not just towards things and, you know, like when it's just within myself, that towards what I use and what I have, like that, but to other people with relationships. And so I, you know, recently have been reminded that I need to to remember to be grateful and to show that gratitude toward the people around me. And so that led me to kind of listen to like other podcasts and other like YouTube, things like that, about gratitude, people that have researched gratitude. And there's proven scientific fact that when you have gratitude, practice gratitude, your health actually improves, your blood pressure improves, I guess like they do blood tests and things like that on these participants, and people who are able to see gratitude and have gratitude every day have improved numbers in their health, in their actual health, and not to mention you know, it's not just physical health, but also in their mental health as well.
Yeah, so true. I believe it was Professor Murakami Kazuo, The Divine Code of Life, made that book. He published that book, Divine Code of Life. And he's also the one that inspired Fusami Kudo-san, the person that survived cancer. Well, Kazuo Murakami sensei, he researched that when we laugh, the more we laugh, the more our blood sugar levels go down, and our blood sugar levels get regulated. On that, he had a research experimented on people, and one group is like no laughing, just regular, and one group is like just continuous hysterical laughter, just forced laughter, even if nothing's funny, just laugh, just continue to laugh and check your blood sugars after. And they found that the side that laughed, their blood sugars were normal, side that didn't was kind of high. It was really interesting too.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, try that. Watch all these comedies. Even try to force yourself to laugh. Even if people think you're crazy, who cares? You know? Yeah. And I also forgot to mention to talk to your own soul, your wakimitama, your own spirit. And sometimes, people may say things that hurt your feelings. And when that happens, I say, oh, 今日心が傷ついたね, or like I say to my own heart, oh, wow, you really took a beating today. And I'm sorry, you don't worry, it's going to be a better day tomorrow. You act. And I try to cheer myself up like that. And I feel better. I think we need that. So to forgive ourselves. We're not perfect. And sometimes I look back in my day and think, oh man, I should have done that. Why didn't I do that? And I blame myself, but it's like it's done already. What else can we do but to just forgive us, try to be a better person tomorrow? And that's why we are given tomorrow, so we can be a better prove ourselves. Just even a little smidgen kind of gives a day, improve ourselves.
Good. I think that's why important to pray, and also we should know we are allowed to live in the universe, allowed to in Kami-sama, and Kami-sama residing within us. The fifth Konko-sama, the word that you're talking to yourself, your body, you're talking to your Kami-sama within you, and you pray to Kami-sama as communication. We're talking to Kami-sama. So that helps us to keep good health and good spirit. Even though we feel defeated, we continue to pray, continue to ask Kami-sama, continue to communicate with Kami-sama, and our feeling changed. So my wife told me that it's Kami-sama editing your prayer, editing your thought better, so that if we continue to do so, to pray, continue to pray, I think Kami-sama can work for us. If we stop praying, and Kami-sama lose opportunity for us to edit our prayer. So even though we feel sad, we can continue to pray. Even though we depressed, we can continue to pray. I think that's very important for us.
If we don't understand suffering, if we don't understand sadness, depression, then we won't understand what it means to be happy. And, and as hard as it is to experience sadness and suffering and depression, we can still be thankful for them because they remind us to happy. If you're happy all the time and nothing bad ever happens, and you don't experience any kind of suffering or pain, then you just won't know. You cannot sympathize or empathize. We're even taught to be thankful for our pain. Of course, you're reminding me of something.
Yes.
So there was a patient who I was gonna give like a shot to, a dinner shot, and she was a very religious type of person. She always she read the Bible, she always was praying and saying. And then before I give the shot, she's like, Edna, is it gonna hurt? And I was like, I don't know. It depends. For some people it doesn't hurt, and for some people it does. So I said, why don't you pray? Why don't you pray before I give you the shot? And she was like, oh, that's right. I was like, yes, if God is in you, then if you pray, you will be okay, right? And she was like, absolutely. And she was like, oh, Jesus, thank you for this shot that Edna's about to give me. Thank you very much. And like while she was saying that prayer, I gave her the shot and she didn't even feel it, She was like, I was like, okay, done. And she was like, what? You're done? Wow, that's amazing. And I said, no, God is amazing. She said, yes, thank you, Jesus. So, we're Konkokyo. We can say, oh, Konko-sama, arigatou. Or like before we get a shot, we can say, oh, Konko-sama, please allow the shot to benefit me. Before we take any pill, we say, oh, Konko-sama, please allow this medicine to benefit me. Any kind of treatment, medical treatment, even before we partake any food or drink, say, oh, Konko-sama, please allow this benefit. If we always have that mentality of Konko-sama, then Konko-sama is always going to be with you. We shouldn't forget that. There's always this guidance that can come to help you, right? Just with the calling of the name, the divine name, Konko Daijin. And for every religion, they have their own divine name, right? Like Jesus Christ, like Namu Amidabu. And I believe there's power in those. So if we're Konko, Konko-sama, arigatou. I think that would Konko faith incorporate that name, that divine name into our daily. Yes.
I think the routine is important to keep good health. Once it becomes routine, it's actually easy, keep exercise or keep good health, food. Also the face, the practicing face too. So altogether, we can keep good health. I think many people talk about health and it's related to your heart or spirit in the mind, not only physically, but we talk about spiritually or mentally. If you're healthy, our body is healthy. Also healthy, we can have a good mind too. It's all related. So it's important for us to make a good routine, I think. Not only the exercise, but also the faith religion. You have a daily prayer, you have the Konko-sama, recite the Konko-sama. If we do exercise, all of a sudden, like today I exercise too much, it's not good. But if we do every day, it's good. No, like too much is not good. But if we make a routine and keep that routine, we can have a good health all the time.
Because I say if you don't use it, right? But if you use it too much, you're going to lose it again. You're going to lose it. Yeah. So you have to be in the perfect balance, I guess.
Right. The balance. And then also I feel like what's almost more important is to not just to do the routine, because once you start doing a routine, for me especially, like I start to take it for granted. The feeling, the reason behind even starting the routine, I start to lose the meaning of it. It's to remember that feeling, to remember to have the heart of appreciation when you're doing it. That's the most challenging for me, is to keep that mindset. I understand the part about making it a routine so that it's a part of you and part of your day. At the same time, we cannot forget why we're doing it. Keep that at forefront. Otherwise, it becomes meaningless.
Yeah, because if like brushing our teeth is routine. And it's like, if we cannot go to sleep if we don't brush our teeth, it's like, ugh, it feels icky.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but people spend about maybe 3 to 5 minutes, I don't know, brushing their teeth, right? So I tell this in my sermons, if you have that time to brush your teeth, then you have the time to go to your altar and say your daily prayers. Even if it's just 5 minutes, that daily communication with Kami-sama is so important. And if you can make that your routine, your life is going to change. It will change to the better. And I promise you that.
Yep. Little change, little step change a lot.
Big
success. Yep. Thank you very much. We covered a lot today. I enjoyed myself today, but it's time to end. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion too, but talk story. But thank you very much again joining us today. Thank you very much, Aimee and Edna, for talking story session today.
Thank you.
We hope to see you next time. Thank you very much. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Have a happy new year.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy holidays.